Hey everyone, Barry's here. Today's video is going to be discussing a theory that I've been discussing with some people on the side, and that is the general lore inconsistencies with a group called the Ancients, a mysterious faction which has left remnants of their technology on Cybertron. Really quickly before we begin, I would just like to let you know that I'm going to be changing the upload schedule from one video every 3 days to one video every 5 days. The Shockwave video is what really exasperated this, as I felt like I couldn't include all the information that I wanted to and do all the research that I wanted to in the Shockwave video with the given deadline that I had. And so, moving forward, expect a video once every 5 days instead of the once every 3 days that you've gotten used to. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about the Ancients. So, first of all, I'll be going into what I mean when I talk about the Ancients in Fall of Cybertron. We hear a lot about a group called the Ancients from certain characters like Cliffjumper, Shockwave, Jazz, and etc. These Ancients, whoever they are shrouded in mystery to even the most knowledgeable Cybertronians like Shockwave, and are credited with many instances of advanced technology. It is clear that this group of Ancients is considered to be a separate group from Cybertronians themselves, as the characters don't speak about them like they do regular Cybertronians, rather as mythical beings from long ago. What's interesting to note is that everyone who makes mention of this group of Ancients does so within the Sea of Rust, a location on Cybertron which itself is shrouded in mystery. I got a couple people who were asking about the Sea of Rust and whether or not it was connected to the Rust Plague, so I can make a whole video about the Sea of Rust and why it's such a weird and mysterious place on Cybertron. But what's important right now is that the ruins located within aren't from either Cybertronian origin nor Quintesson origin. It is heavily implied that whoever the Ancients are, they are responsible for the Sea of Rust. So, for the longest time, I thought that the Ancients would be the Quintessons, considering they are known for handing down technology to the Cybertronians, and abandoning a lot of mysterious artifacts on the planet. It seems that after my Age of Wrath video, a lot of other people also believed the Quintessons to be the Ancients, referenced throughout the campaign. However, while I was doing my own research for the Shockwave video, I came to a revelation while watching through my buddy Link of Legends video on all the audio logs. Check him out since he's super neat. Anyway, and then I got to this audio log.
I am annoyed by the perceived value of this inconsequential Enon Lake. It is but a minuscule puddle compared to what the tower next to it can truly give us. Inferior minds like Starscreams have misjudged this structure as a simple energon refinery. However, my research has revealed it to be so much more. The Ancients built it to tear the fabric of space and time itself, and open gateways to distant galaxies high in the orbit of Cybertron. I look forward to exploring this technology. Perhaps we can find another world with resources and energy we could use to reboot Cybertron's core.
So, what's the big deal about this audio log? It seems totally normal and fine, right? Wrong. Those of you who have watched my Age of Wrath video, or even my Shockwave video, will know that Shockwave knows about the Quintessons. He knows what they are, what they're called. He even led the investigation which exposed the Quintessons' lies to Zeta Prime. So, if Shockwave knows what the Quintessons are, then why does he not know who the Ancients are? It should also be noted that Shockwave says that the Ancients are what built the space bridges, not the Quintessons. This begs the question, if the Quintessons didn't build the space bridges, who did? If Shockwave, the one who analyzed Quintesson structures back in the Age of Wrath for weaknesses, doesn't recognize the structures and technology left behind by the Ancients, then that can only mean one thing. The Ancients are not Quintessons. And it makes even more sense than that. Any Quintesson technology left behind on Cybertron was reverse engineered rather easily by the Cybertronians. They knew how they worked almost instantly. But millions of years later, and still not even the smartest Cybertronians have any idea how the ancient technology works. Furthermore, the Quintessons' massive plot was to enslave the Cybertronians. But why did they need slaves? What was so important to them that they needed to kidnap and enslave an entire planet and ship them across the galaxy? So, I didn't get to cover this in my Age of Wrath video, but it is heavily implied that in the Cybertron universe, not only did the Quintessons show the Cybertronians how to transform into vehicles, but they also showed them how to transform their limbs into weapons. Now, why would the Quintessons show the very species that they planned to enslave how to gain access to weapons whenever they wanted? That just seems like a great way for your plans to enslave them to go completely wrong. Kind of like how they did. This seems like a terrible decision on their part. However, I think we're missing the point that High Moon was masterfully trying to get at. Why would the Quintessons need to enslave the Transformers and give them weapons? Why would they need an armed military full of slaves? Because they were under attack. Isn't it odd that the Quintessons don't have a home planet? Isn't it odd that the Quintessons are a nomadic society that claims whatever planet they can? Why didn't they retreat to their home planet after they lost the Wrath War? Because they don't have a home planet. Not anymore. What happened to it? Unicron. Unicron is what the Quintessons were trying to assemble an army against. They knew that Unicron was coming, and they were trying to assemble the largest army they could to destroy him. But, how is Unicron the group known as the Ancients? Clearly, whoever the Ancients are, there are multiple entities, not just one being known as Unicron. Well, Unicron actually has his own faction, called the Heralds of Unicron, a cult which is composed of multiple different species that have been imbued with the blood of Unicron, also known as Dark Energon. It is quite possible that some of the technology used by the Heralds of Unicron was stolen by the Quintessons and used on Cybertron. It's possible that the Quintessons figured out how to use this technology, however, it was far too complex for the Cybertronians to figure out. And the final nail in the coffin of this theory, the greatest example of the Ancients' technology, the map room. It only makes sense for the Heralds of Unicron to keep a map of all the potential food sources that they've mapped out for the Great Devourer. With the map room secured on Cybertron, Unicron would be unable to locate Earth or any of the other planets identified within the map room. What's terrifying is that due to the Cybertronians not understanding how this technology works, it is very possible that the Ancients left a tracker beacon on a piece of tech to lure the Planet Eater to Cybertron. Unicron is out there somewhere, eating planets and civilizations out of existence, his hunger slowly drawing him closer towards Cybertron. So, that's been my theory on the Ancients, and looking into everything that there is here, it makes a surprising amount of sense. Fall of Cybertron's story itself has a lot of G1 movie references, with Megatron's death and revival, Starscream's coronation, and just kind of Dinobot dialogue and everything from that level. There's a lot of 86 references, and I wouldn't be surprised to find out that Unicron had a planned kind of cameo appearance in the campaign at some point. However, that's just my theory about who the Ancients could be. If you have any theories, make sure that you leave them in the comments below, and I'd love to hear about them. Thank you all for watching this video. Till all are one.